welcome to video number 4. In this video we're going to go through choosing your niche. Now when it comes to choosing your niche, this is one of the most important parts of your entire online business, because if you choose the wrong niche from the start, then you're not only going to find it very difficult to get any traction, but you're going to find it very difficult to build any decent income from your online business, because it all comes down to the niche that you choose. There's certain niches that are good and there's certain niches that are bad, but in order for you to fully understand what makes a good niche, I've got 6 tips for you, and I'm going to go through each of these 6 tips in depth and fully explain to you exactly what you must do, and by the end of it you'll completely understand exactly how to choose a good niche, and also the checks that you have to do before you actually enter a niche. Now, just before we go into the tips, the niche that you choose needs to be a niche that you're going to be in for the long term. Okay, this isn't something just for the next 6 months. All of these tips are based around you choosing a niche which is going to be a long-term business. Okay, this isn't just going to be for the next 6 to 12 months. This is going to be for quite a few years. These are tips that you have to take on board based on the fact that you're going to be in a niche for a fairly long time. So let's get into the tips. Now, tip number 1 is the niche has to be something that you are interested in. It has to be something that you are interested in. Now this is very important, because you have to look at it from a common sense point of view. The fact that if you choose a niche that you have no interest in, then it's going to be a real chore for you to actually create any content in that niche, to really create any products in that niche, and to learn things about that niche. So it really is important for you to be interested in the niche that you go into, because far too many people go out there and just go into a niche because it's profitable. There's lots of profitable niches out there, but there's tons of niches out there as well that would completely bore me to tears. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to work in that niche for more than a couple of hours and I would get completely and utterly bored. So you have to be interested in whatever niche you go into, because you have to have a passion for it. So tip number 1 is make sure that whatever niche you go into, you have an interest in. Tip number 2 is I highly recommend for you to choose a niche in one of these 3 markets, and that's going to be money, health, or relationships. Money, health, or relationships. All of the profitable markets or niches are in one of those 3 markets: money, health, or relationships. So I highly recommend that when you choose your niche, make sure that it's in one of those 3 markets, because if it's not, then you're going to find it a lot more difficult to get any traction and to see any good success. So make sure that it's in one of those 3 markets. Just remember, these are markets. Money, health, and relationships are not niches. A niche will be a small category within one of those 3 markets. So relationships, it could be how to get your ex back. That is an actual niche within the relationship market, so just bear that in mind. Tip number 3 is whatever niche you go into, it absolutely has to be evergreen. It must be evergreen. When I say evergreen, it means that the information that you give away or you create, or anything within that niche, the information is still going to be current and relevant in 12, 18 months time, or 5 years time. Okay, there may be a few little things now and again that change, and that's fine, that's perfectly normal, but the bulk of the information, yeah, the main information in your niche has to be evergreen, so that you don't have to constantly go into your products and change information. This is one of the biggest mistakes people make. They don't choose evergreen products. So you have to choose a product where the information that you sell or give away is still going to be valid, current and relevant in a year or a few years time. Now, just to give you an example of some good evergreen niches, it could be muscle building, acne, how to get rid of acne, it could be how to lose weight or how to make money. So those are just a few examples, but the information that you get in all of those niches is going to be relevant today when you actually sell the information or when you give the information away, and then in a couple of years time the information that you get in those niches is still going to be the same, yeah, because those are just evergreen niches. The information in those niches is going to last a very, very long time. So you have to make sure that you choose a niche which is evergreen, because if you don't, then you're unable to create a product which is going to be around for a very long time. And then when you create a sales funnel and lots of different products within the niche, the last thing you want to do is have to go into those products every few months and change the information. That's just going to be an absolute disaster, and that's going to cost you thousands of dollars. It's going to cost you hundreds of hours in time. So whatever you do, make sure that your niche is evergreen. Tip number 4 is, or this is kind of connected to the last tip about it must be evergreen. Tip number 4 is you must be able to create multiple products within your niche. So as I said, your niche has to be evergreen, and by being evergreen, you also need to be able to create multiple products within the niche. Now, if your product or if your niche is not evergreen and you create multiple products within the niche, then you're going to have to go into those multiple products, lots of different products, and update them. Yeah, so you have to be able to create multiple products within your niche, and as long as your niche is evergreen, you will never have to touch those products again. Okay, once they're out in cyberspace and you're making money from them and you're selling them online, okay, you just let your system take over, deliver your products, and you'll never have to go in. You may have to go in now and again, okay, every now and again, and just change a few little details, a few little things, and that's perfectly normal. But the bulk of your information that you sell in your products must be evergreen. And as I just said, this tip is you must be able to create multiple products within your niche, because when you sell your front end product, your main product in your niche, for say $10 or $20, you have to have multiple products within your sales funnel. So don't just think that you can build a good business by having 1 or 2 products, because you don't. You need way more than that, okay? You need lots more products to sell to your customers, because some of your customers may just want to purchase your low price products, but you will have a certain percentage of your customers that will go through and purchase every single one of your products. Okay, these are going to be your hyper responsive buyers, and for those type of customers, okay, you will be able to sell higher ticket products or more expensive products. So this is why it's really important that you must be able to create multiple products within a niche. If the niche is too small, and once you've just created one product and there isn't really much else to talk about within a niche, then of course that isn't a good niche, because you need to be able to create multiple products and possibly information for some type of membership site or something like that. So don't just think that you have to create one product and that's it. Okay, this course I'm going to teach you how to set everything up, and that means you creating multiple products, not straight away. This isn't going to happen overnight. but long term you're going to have multiple products within your product line and in your sales funnel. So whatever niche you choose, make sure that there's enough information in that niche that you can create multiple products within your niche. So tip number 5 is competition is a good thing. Competition is a good thing. Don't listen to any idiot that ever tells you that they found a niche and there's no competition, so they're going to go into it. Competition is a good thing. The reason why competition is a good thing is because if lots of people are advertising for a particular niche, then it means they're making money. People wouldn't advertise if they weren't making money or making a profit from that niche. So if you have lots of advertisement for a particular niche, then it means it's very, very profitable. So when you see a lot of competition, say in Google for instance, or any search engine, if you see a lot of different ads, a lot of traffic, a lot of people trying to compete for certain keywords, anything like that, then that's actually a good thing, okay? And just for an example, just think of things like insurance, loans and weight loss. If you go to Google and type in any of those keywords, there's a ton of competition. If you try and rank on the first page of Google for the keyword cheap insurance or best insurance or cheap loans or something like that, or home loans, you'll see that there's a ton of competition. And the same as if you paid for advertisement as well. Any paid advertisement on the internet around insurance and loans, it's going to cost you a lot of money to advertise. The reason is because it's very, very profitable, and there's a lot of competition because people do make good money back. Okay, these insurance companies and loan companies do make the good money back. So it's a very profitable niche, insurance, loans, and obviously weight loss as well. So when you see competition, don't think that you can't enter the niche, because there's always room for more people within the niche. What you have to do is go into the niche and don't always do the same things as everyone else. Go into it and approach it from a different angle, a unique kind of an angle. You can do things like that, but don't think competition's a bad thing, because it's not. You need competition because that means there's traffic. That means people are actually spending money in the niche. So competition is a very, very good thing. Now, tip number 6 is when choosing a niche, you must think long term. When you choose your niche, you must think long term, because when you enter a niche, you have to think long term in order to build authority and have any type of impact on the niche. You can't enter a niche and expect to dominate that niche within 6 months, okay, because it's not going to happen most of the time. So you have to go into a niche thinking that you're going to be in that niche for quite a few years. And this is why earlier in the course I said to you, make sure that you're in the right mindset when you enter a niche, because if you go into a niche thinking that you're just going to be in it for 6 months, make a bit of money and then move on, then you are in the complete wrong mindset. Now, I'm not talking like 10-20 years, but have a mindset of you're going to be in this niche for at least 2 to 3 years, because you need to be able to make a bit of an impact, and you need to be able to build a little bit of authority. And authority only really comes with you kind of like marketing yourself around on various platforms, YouTube, on the social networks, having products out there on the forums, having affiliates sending you traffic. So the more you get yourself out there, and the more you market your business and your brand and your products, then the more authority you build. And this a lot of the time really comes in time. It doesn't happen overnight. It comes in constant, consistent work over many months. So when you choose your niche, you need to think long term, And the niche that you get into, don't think that you'll just choose something for the next 3 months just to, pass a bit of time. This is a very important decision that you make right now about what niche you go into. So make sure that you have the mindset of you're going to be in this niche for at least the next couple of years, because you really need to hit it hard and really make a good go of it, because if you don't, you're just going to waste time, waste money, and you'll be back to square one again before you know it. And then it's just like a big vicious circle. So those are the 6 tips. If you think about those before you enter a niche, you will do absolutely fine. So we'll just run through those again. The tip 1 was something that you are interested in. Tip 2, the niche must be in, or I highly recommend that your niche must be in the money, health or relationship market. Tip 3, it must be evergreen. That's very important. Tip 4, you must be able to create multiple products within your niche. Tip 5, competition is a very good thing, so don't ever think that competition is a bad thing. And tip 6 is, when you choose your niche, you must think long term in order for you to have any type of impact on that niche, and you can build authority within that niche. So this isn't going to happen overnight. This does take quite a few months to really gain some traction within the niche. And one thing I will say is, if you do struggle with choosing a niche that you have or that you're not interested in, then it's not the end of the world. So don't think if there's no niche out there that you have no interest in, it's the end of the world, because it's not. What you need to do, if you are in that situation, if you're struggling to actually choose a niche because you don't know enough in certain niches, or there's nothing that you're really interested in, what you must do right now is choose a niche that you kind of have an interest in. Okay, you have a slight interest in. Choose the best one for you, which meets all the criteria that I've just gone through, and you have to learn as much about it as you can. So say if you go into the muscle building niche or the weight loss niche, okay, what you need to do is start to educate yourself within one of those niches. It could be the internet marketing niche, it could be the weight loss niche, how to lose, how to get rid of acne, muscle building. Whatever you do, whichever niche you go into, then make sure you learn about as much as you can, if you haven't already got an interest in a particular niche or any knowledge in a particular niche. That's pretty much the only thing you can really do. 99% of the time, or most of the people that I've spoke to, they have always got some type of interest in a niche within one of those 3 markets: money, health or relationships. You got to think there's hundreds of niches within one of those 3 markets, so hopefully you should be able to, or you do have a niche that you're interested in, which is going to be in one of those 3 markets. But if you don't, then what you need to do is just choose one, learn about it as much as you can, pick up as much information about it as you can, and then you can go from there and start to create products and use everything else that I'm going to teach you within this course to build a business around the niche that you choose. So I just thought I would include that, because some people don't always tell you, what you must do if there isn't a niche that you're interested in. So you just have to choose one out of one of those 3 markets, and then just kind of hammer it as much as you can, and just learn about it. And that's pretty much what you have to do, unless of course you do already have an interest in a niche in one of those 3 markets. So that is video number 4 on choosing your niche. This is a very important part of the entire online business blueprint, so make sure that you fully understand everything that I've given you within this video. So that's the end of video 4. I will see you in video number 5. Take care.